Hey, I'm back with No Frills Hi-Fi. Today I'm going to be looking at the Record Roots Record Weight Stabilizer. Just got this in from Record Roots, and so far I did mess with it. I put it back in the box, but I have actually played some records with it. But I just kind of wanted to see how it's packaged. This is a really cool little device, whatever you'd call it, accessory. It's a cool accessory. I've used record weights in the past. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably seen I have a nice shiny stainless one. It's made by Fluence. I was really impressed with it. I got it because, you know, it's a gadget and I love gadgets. And I kind of got it just thinking like, well, you know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's $49. It's not really that big a deal. If it doesn't, I'll return it. But I was actually impressed because, you know, it did a good job of, you know, flattening records that have a little bit of a warp in the center. But really, it just kind of stabilizes everything, gets a little bit smoother sound to it. But I hated it. It's, well, for one thing, it's stainless, so it gets fingerprints all over it and it looks terrible. It's also got some kind of rigid edges when you're picking it up. It's just not, you know, very ergonomic. Yeah, I'm being kind of nitpicky, but I really like it. I just kind of wanted something a little bit better. So in comes the Record Roots weight. It is 750 grams. It's 40, let me make sure I get it right, $49.99 on their website. I'll put all the links and everything in the description. But one thing I really like about it is just kind of the way it's designed. You know, it's really comfortable to pick up. The other one, the Fluence, I know it does come in the rubberized coating as well as the stainless. I got the stainless. But it's just not comfortable to pick up. It feels like it's going to slip out of your hand, and the last thing you want is a 750 gram weight falling on your turntable and record. Now the Fluence one is a little heavier. It's 760 grams. If you can tell the difference in 10 grams, I don't know that I would believe that, but I really like this one a lot better. I don't have a lot to compare it to because these are the only two that I've tried, but I think this one is the end game for me. Just because I don't feel like I'm going to drop it on the turntable. I think it was very well thought out. It's a very simple thing. It's just got this one groove here. If you ever look at some of the other ones, they have like a thin groove like the Fluence one, and you just feel like it's going to slip out of your hand. I don't feel that way with this at all. And functionality wise, it's every bit as good. So I would definitely pick this over that any day. It does have felt bottom so that it doesn't mess up your label, which is kind of cool. And they have like a rubber coating on them, so it's not going to show up the fingerprints, which I really love. I do wish it was available in multiple colors. I like the blue, but I feel like I would like a black or something a little bit more subtle that kind of blends into the record instead of standing out. But, you know, that's a pretty minor thing. I would definitely take all the other properties of this over the color, and maybe they'll come out with a different color. Who knows? But, you know, this is something that I'm going to go ahead and get a turntable over here where you can see it. This is something that, you know, I never really felt like I needed, even, you know, as much as I listen to records until I used one. And I've just been very impressed. I'm very impressed with this one. So I would definitely give them a shot. Basically, it's just got a hole on the bottom if you're not familiar with record weights. And it just goes right over the spindle in the center of the album there, just to kind of hold it down. As far as flattening a warped record, there are good alternatives to permanently flatten it, which I would look at. These are really good if it is sticking up in the center. If it's up on the edges, you know, if you flip that record over, it's not going to help so much with flattening. but it does stabilize it. It adds that extra momentum to the turntable. It does make it sound a little bit better. That being said, if you have a record that is badly warped, I would look at those other alternatives before I would put this on here. The reason is if you're playing a record that is warped up on the edges, and you put this on here, it can kind of mess with the way that it sits, and it can be kind of up on one end. It's not good for your stylus. I I would hesitate to say this is for flattening records. I hear a lot of people say that. It does to a degree, but it's not a permanent fix for that. It is for making it sound a little bit smoother, giving it a little bit of weight so it helps with the tracking on it. I'm super impressed with it. I probably will buy a couple more of these at some point because I do have multiple turntables. That way I'm not just moving them back and forth. But so far, totally impressed. Everything I've had, well, both the things that I've had from Record Reach so far, I think have been just incredible. Their customer service is really good too. I actually contacted them. I have a contact that I use to get stuff to review. I also contacted customer service just to ask them some of the dumbest questions that I could think of, and they were totally cool. They never seemed impatient. They were totally willing to help. They actually did give me some advice on some stuff that I hadn't thought of. Just a great company to deal with, and that means a lot to me because you can buy a record weight from anywhere, but having somebody that you can actually talk to, a live human being, means a lot to me. That's something that's kind of missing these days, I think. But I'm old and maybe I'm on my soapbox here. But I'll quit rambling, and I definitely appreciate you guys checking it out. I'll put all the links and everything in the description, so don't forget to click the link, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you later. Thanks.